Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and welcome to my house. That's Justin's house. It's time for another ServiceNow Store Highlights episode, version 06092023. That's right, SSH 06092023, or for my international friends and audience, we can call it 2023-0609. You can see there on my planned publish date. And we have a doozy, another doozy that seems to be happening pretty regularly. In fact, let me show you something. I made a little graphic of all of the episodes. You can see here every couple of weeks we seem to get a surge. We had 164 back on week 10. We had 134 on week 15. 606 applications on week 19, and then back on this week 119 applications updated. Let's take a look at the stats specifically for this episode. Of those 119, we've got 7 new releases, 31 highlights, 8 compatibility updates, and 12 minor updates. There are 54 fixes in this episode. Lots and lots and lots of ServiceNow Store apps got fixes, little minor fixes. 7 release notes fails, and we will start with the release notes fails. We'll come in here and we'll sort this and show matching on release notes fails. We have got just a few of them here. Agent Client Collector for log analytics, asset management for mobile, asset track, patient trial study oversight, predictive metric intelligence, service channel facilities management, and vBrick video connector. All were release notes fails in this episode. If you haven't seen this before, that is where the release notes are a repeat of the last release notes, empty, or just we can't figure out what actually changed. There's been a new version, but there's a fail in the release notes in understanding what actually changed. So you may want to contact the vendors, mostly ServiceNow again in this one, to see what exactly happened. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at all of those fixes I told you about. There's so many of them. I tried to sort out and pull out and highlight the ones that were important or had a lot of stuff versus minor, like little bug fixes and minor things. So I have 3 pages or 54. We're just going to go through them here real quick. Agent Client Collector framework and monitoring, case playbook for complaints and onboarding, product support, service certificate inventory management, change management for Service Operations Workspace, Citrix IT Service Management Connector, configuration compliance, CrowdStrike Falcon Insight integration for security operations, CSM configurable workspace, data loss prevention incident response, DLP incident response integration with Microsoft Netscope and Symantec, Document Intelligence, DocuSign Spoke, Employee Center, Engagement Messenger, and the Goal Framework, all with fixes, minor fixes, GRC Business Impact Analysis, Guided Setup, Header App Shell, Incident Management for Service Operations Workspace, Integration Commons for CMDB, Legal Content Review, Legal Counsel Center Components, Legal Request Management, Legal Simple Privacy, Microsoft Azure DevOps Board Spoke, Microsoft Dynamics CRM Spoke, Microsoft Exchange Online Spoke, Omnichannel Callback for Customer Service Management, One List Approvals Adapter, Password Reset Integration with Google Directory, Password Reset Windows Application, Playbook for Customer Service Management, Portfolio Planning, Project Costing for sourcing and procurement operations, Qualtrics Spoke, and last page here is going to be Rapid 7 integration for security operations, security incident response UI, security support commons, service catalog for mobile, service operations workspace ITSM apps, ServiceNow Voice for ITSM, shopping hub, source to pay common architecture, Vivid Charts data engagement platform, Vonage Spoke, and vulnerability response integration with Microsoft Threat and Vulnerability Management, also with Palo Alto Prisma Cloud, and also with Tenable. Lastly, web views for mobile. All had fixes. 54 applications, everybody, had minor fixes. So you're going to see them in your update menu in your instance. And if you have something not working or you just want to stay up to date, you might want to go check out those fixes there in the store. So let's check out compatibility updates. These are compatibility updates to Utah. We had BitSite for vendor risk management, JobR, security support orchestration, Service Graph Connector for Meraki, Tenable for ITSM, Tenable.ot for vulnerability response, Tenable Connector, and universal request integration with Microsoft Teams. Again, updated to be compatible with Utah. So if you've been planning your upgrade and waiting for that to happen, there you go. Now it's ready to go. Minor updates is the next category. We'll take a look at those. Dex Desktop Assistant, Digicert Cert Central Manager, Digital End User Experience, Google Docs Spoke, Google Drive Spoke, Learning Post, Microsoft Security Response Center Spoke, Password Safe External Credential Storage for Discovery, recommendations for incident management and customer service, or recommended actions for customer service, SAP ECC RFC Spoke, and Ship Ease Core. These were all Justin's opinion, minor little updates, or they said minor updates, or just like a little one-liner of just updated this one thing that wasn't really worth spending a lot of time on for the highlights. So next, we will move into the new releases for this week. All right, we'll start with the first new release, and that is Approvals Hub integration with SAP Concur. Streamline expense approvals with SAP Concur integration. Key features: view an expense report, view line items for an expense report, view itemizations, view comments, view attachments, and approve or send back expense report with comments. There are no screenshots on this one, but I believe we have another SAP new release, or it's in the updates. So next on the list, Devoteam QuickStaHRt. Deliver a better employee experience across the enterprise. Key features: EC Pro, HR Service Catalog and Knowledge. EC Pro is Employee Center Pro. HR Case and Agent Workspace, Virtual Agent, Technical Features, Surveys, Analytics, and Integrations. We don't have any screenshots on this one, so that's the second new app. Third one here, Intact Rapid IT Modernization. Address the challenges faced by organizations struggling under technical debt and legacy systems managing services and operations. Key features: one UI across the platform, mobile apps plus web provide native usage, tools available to analyze and facilitate upgrades, technical features, no low-code technologies, out-of-the-box features minimize need to customize, consistent schedule of releases and feature capability growth, and wide range of integration technologies pre-built. We don't have any screenshots, but we do have a video on that one, so we'll leave that for you to play on your computer. But that's what's new from Intact Technology. Next, Integration Planner. Integration Planner, streamline your system-to-system connections today. Key features: export integration plans to PDF, auto-populate mappable ServiceNow fields definitions, integration plan approvals, integration lifecycle tracking, use cases tracking, test cases tracking, environments tracking, payload simulator for JSON, field map validator, populate staging fields, and notifications. We do have a couple of screenshots on this one. There's the integration planner record number 2 and number 3. So basically the form, top of the form where they show the description, and then having a business justification, and then there's a related list for mappings. Here's the integration planner mapping opened up for incident state, and here's the environments, and here's a field map validator, and a JSON payload simulator, a preview integration report. We can see all the details of that integration, and an integration report PDF where we can see the Jira Africa integration, and back to our integration planner record. So that's what's new from PIMT Consulting, or PIMT Consulting. Up next, NewRocket Enterprise Resilience. Help organizations to be more proactive in building organizational resilience. Key features on this one: functional maturity assessment, roadmap and implementation strategy. Technical features: implemented use cases aligning with out of the box as much as possible. Defined candidates for automation, which build over time, and defined candidates for orchestration, which build over time. Let's take a look at the screenshots for this new app. Here we got a maturity scale going from 0 to 5, 0 being noise and 5 being orchestration. Here's a proposed high-level approach for discussion, just an example. And there's that maturity model there. So 2 screenshots there from the folks at NewRocket. Up next on our list, Service Operations Workspace for PMI. This is from the ServiceNow Innovations Lab, a Service Operations Workspace for PMI. The key features on this one weren't listed other than multivariate anomalies, so I don't have any screenshots or any other details to tell you what the heck this is. I have a feeling it's a component of something else that has a better description. At least I would hope so. But it's available under PDI, so why not check it out? Next on the list, Softline Structured ITAM excellence, establish customers with a reliable data source for budgeting, audit defense, and reduce the complexity of software and hardware landscape, and support digital transformation. Our key features on this one: an ITAM value accelerator, ITAM being IT asset management, a SAM Pro functional health check, SAM being software asset management, implementation hypercare, technical features, a CMDB health check or configuration management database health check, SAM Pro health check, and discovery, SAM Pro, and HAM Pro implementation. No screenshots on this one, and that concludes our new releases. So up next is going to be the highlights. We have on the list, let's see here, 30 something highlights, I think, 31 highlights for us to get through. And all right, let's get into the highlights. First on the list is going to be Agent Workspace for HR Case Management, updated to version, wait for it, 2.0.1. In this one, it's a fix, but we had a ton of them, so I left it in the highlights. Fulfillment instructions show an error when a KB article created from a template is attached to it, creating a case from an HR profile when open for a subject person is pre-filled. Deep links on a workspace, few case fields are clearing out when creating a case. Reply button in activity stream does not work as expected. Category picker does not work in knowledge form. An internal server error when searching for users in the create case page. So quite a few fixes in that one. I bet more than one of them if you've upgraded to version 2, you might be looking for this 2.0.1 update. Next on the list is going to be Calendly Spoke, got updated to version 1.1.1. Added actions for cancel event, lookup user, invite user organization, and lookup event. Changed the Spoke icon, upgraded actions for lookup organization, remove user from organization with latest design pattern, and removed lookup organization, remove user from organization. So quite a few updates, even though it is a minor release for that one. Up next, Chronicle Data Export. Couldn't catch that last word there. Application updated to version 1.2.0. They deprecated the audit log feature, and it now supports San Diego, Tokyo, and Utah. Up next on the list is CMDB CI class models got updated to version 1.47.0. There's a new PCF BOSH data model. I have no idea what that means. IBM WebSeal REST API data model, and added a related list for change requests on OT assets. So that's what's new in that one. Discovery and service mapping patterns got updated to version 1.6.0, and this is a big one. There's that WebSeal and ISAM creation pattern to support version 9.x and above. Implemented mid-bypass proxy property, Azure VM scale set discovery pattern, created a relationship between Azure regular VM instance and VM scale set, added PCF BOSH resources to the existing Cloud Foundry pattern based on new OpsMan API functionality. It's so weird to say all this and I have no idea what I'm saying. MS SQL DB on Windows pattern collected MS SQL components additions using MS SQL report utility. Azure VM LP pattern will be changed to trigger after data center discovery rather than hardware type. All of that right over Justin's head. You can see there's a lot of fixes. I'm not going to try to read through all these. I would lose my voice, but essentially if you're using discovery patterns, Kubernetes, you can see there's some changes. The stuff was removed. Lots and lots of updates in this version of the discovery and service mapping pattern. So go take a look at that one if you're a discovery customer. You may have been waiting for one of those things and now you can have it. So that's what's new on that one. Next up, environmental health and safety. Didn't catch the last word again. Incident investigation, upgraded to version 6.2.2. And this one, new workspace user experience. Report an EHS incident from the Serenity Workspace Employee Manager homepages. A new EHS incident center within the Serenity Workspace. New workspace experience for EHS incident lifecycle, including signature to close. New injury/illness card and playbook experience. New body part picker. Body part picker. I'm not sure about that one. I'm sure it's what is supposed to be there, but it reads weird. New workspace experience for witness accounts. All right, so that's what's new with that one. Up next, Health Log Analytics got updated to version 27.0.7. There's some new features support giving ML feedback to stop generating unimportant alerts from multiple components of the application service. User notification displayed when the AI engine engine is down. Health check notifies admin when no HLA alerts were generated for a configurable time period. And there's some bug fixes on this one. So that's what's new with Health Log Analytics. ITSM Success Dashboard Indicators got updated to version 4.1.3. They've added a new admin console, cost savings, new contextual side panels, and a new KPI. So I think I marked this one as a potential video candidate because I think that should be something I'm able to take a look at in my test environment or PDI and show you what that looks like. But a bunch of new updates in there around the ITSM Success Dashboard Indicators. Jira Spoke got an update to version number 4.2.0, added actions for add watcher, delete watcher, and lookup watchers. I left this as not a minor update because I feel like this is a feature enhancement to the Spoke, and somebody may have been wanting to add watcher, delete watcher, and lookup watchers. Now, I'm not sure which side of things that is. Is that a ServiceNow watcher or a Jira watcher? If you know, leave us a note in the comments. Which side of the fence is that watching going on? Up next, Legal Simple Contracts got updated to version number 5.1.2. There's new support for wet signatures. Oh, you know what? So this is interesting. May 4th was the day that like all the, Star Wars Day, number one, but it's also the day that most of the store releases came out for ServiceNow for Q2. This one did not show up until this past crawl. I have no idea why it didn't show up, and I'll even show you. We'll open up the application. I'm not making stuff up. My crawler is working fine. It's just that there was an update in February, and then this May 4th update didn't show up until June the 6th when I ran my crawler, which is it's updating loading the application, which will load my version history related list on the bottom. So not sure what happened there, but let's take a look at the features supporting wet signatures, support for configurable system property to enable executed contract audit certificate. Google Drive supports NDA as well as third-party contract review for creating, storing revisions, and adding attachments while composing emails. And for third-party contract intake forms, the generate document form template option should not be enabled. So that was what was new. It didn't make it into my Q2 store release episode. And you can see here's the application, Legal Simple Contracts. If we look at the version histories, there was a version 4.2.2 in November, 5.0.3 on February 9th, and 5.1.2 I didn't see until June the 6th. So I'm not sure what happened, if it's something wrong with my system, but this thing wasn't there until June the 6th, and I have no idea why. So we'll just leave it at that. That's the Legal Simple Contracts. Got updated in May or June. We don't know, but it's updated, so go take a look at it. Microsoft Azure Directory Spoke got updated to version 4.1.0. They added actions for add owners to group, add devices to group, delete group, look up subscribe SKUs, and look up subscribe SKU, not plural. So again, like my other spokes, there was those are enhancements to me, so I didn't want to include it in the minor update and make you aware of it. Microsoft Sentinel got an update to version 1.0.12. Any incidents created going ahead to ServiceNow will have a suffix Sentinel dash. Won't affect existing incidents. If there are any blank incidents created in ServiceNow, you can now attach this snow number as a tag to any of the existing and new Sentinel incidents so that ServiceNow record gets updated in the next job run with all the details. And if there is an existing ServiceNow incident with a blank correlation ID, and if you want to use a particular Sentinel incident, then copy paste the correlation ID value, which is the GUID value from Sentinel incident URL field to ServiceNow incident. This will update snow incident with details from Sentinel to ServiceNow on the next job run. And there were some minor fixes and logging changes, and that's from Microsoft Sentinel. Up next on the list, Now Mobile got an update to version number 28.1.2. Pre-built integration with, this is the SAP I mentioned at the beginning of new releases, with SAP Concur allows approvers to view expense report, view line items, view attachments for a report, and approve or send back the expense report with comments. Next, Outlook actionable messages, also related to this SAP, I'm pretty certain, updated to version 4.0.2. There you see the same line items for SAP. Next on the list is going to be PagerDuty Spoke, got an update to version number 1.3.1, added about 50 actions to align with PagerDuty's core business functions. Didn't really think that was a minor release, so wanted to make sure that you were aware there are 50 new Integration Hub Spoke actions on the PagerDuty Spoke. If you're using that Spoke. Next, Qualys Core got an update to version number 1.3.300, adding host detection grouping functionality, control logging level from scheduled import configs, other enhancements and fixes, knowledge base importing all records when host detection imports and finds missing QIDs, and new, a minor fix to how detection event rules are processed. So patch release there for the Qualys Core. Up next, Qualys integration for security operations, updated to version 12.8.4, fixed Azure assets, Qualys knowledge base, and a rescan integration run record in the queue. An integration run was not being created. The issue has been fixed. An integration run is created in the ready state, even if there is an integration run created for rescan, which is in the ready state. So that's version 12.8.4 for Qualys integration. RPA sample template got updated to version 2.1.1. I want to play around with this one, but with the Clear Browser Cache Robot template, you can clear your browser's cache data using Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome. With the Copy Excel to SQL Table Data Robot template, you can copy the Microsoft Excel table data to SQL database table. With the Oracle eBusiness Suite Accounts Receivable Transaction Robot template, you can create the transaction records in an EBS application. And with Convert to Excel to XML template, you can convert the Excel file to an XML file. So if you've been wanting to play with RPA, there's a good sample template, and it is available in your developer portal instance. All right, up next is SailPoint IDN for Service Catalog. Got updated to version number 2.3.30. This is a big one. Actually, it's not a big one. I got to move down in here. Removal of existing entitlement is supported now. Support for rectification of existing entitlements has been added. Support for configurable headers, internationalization, and search functionality issues have been addressed in version 2.3.0. Next up is going to be SAP ABAP for software asset management, updated to version number 5.0.1. Support to optimize roles based on USMM optimizations. Support for S/4HANA named user and engine licensing, and support for self-declared engines, new in that patch release. Let's go to our next page here of updates or highlights. SAP S/4HANA RFC Spoke got updated to version 1.4.0, redesigned 5 existing actions, and added 5 new actions to the Spoke. Up next, Sentinel-1 app for security incident response got updated to version number 1.1.0. Initial store submission. This is actually the second version. Don't believe what they said there. What's new is down here below, added ability to create ServiceNow incident response. Incidents from Sentinel-1 threats, added bidirectional notes, sync, and certified app for Utah. So that's what was missing from the previous update there for this application, and that's what's new. Next up, Serenity Core got updated to version number 6.2.3. New in this workspace, we already went through this, or did we go through this? New Serenity Workspace employee homepage, manager homepage, no we didn't. Report a finding or hazard from the employee manager homepages, new findings and action centers within the workspace, new experience for findings including signature to close, new hazard details for findings, and new workspace experience for actions. Next up, Serenity Inspections got an update to version number 6.2.2, and in that one we have started an inspection from the Serenity Workspace, new inspection center in that workspace to manage inspection tasks and templates, new workspace experience to build templates, and new experience to complete inspection tasks including signature to close. So really similar to the last ones we saw there. Service Graph Connector for Tanium got updated to version number 1.5.0. They fixed some issues related to software installation and disabled the SG Tanium applications data source to improve performance, and they removed SG Tanium SN remove software data source and the Tanium remove software staging table as the behavior is already configured in the Service Graph Tanium hardware and software data source. Alright, so minor release, but looked significant in my eyeballs. Next up, Service Graph Connector for Tenable Assets, I believe that said. Yeah, upgraded to version 5.1.0. Tenable.ot fixes, update to discovery source for all Tenable products, Utah support, Service Graph certification support on this release. Up next, training and event management got updated to version number 1.3.01, minor defect fixes and layout improvements to the event management end user portal, integration with Microsoft Teams and Zoom for online meetings, and ability to limit featured events displayed in the portals to a user's region. So that's what's new in that release. Next, Trello Spoke got updated to version number 1.2.1, added about 50 new actions that align with Trello's core business function, very similar to PagerDuty, improved webhook security, and created and applied report_view ACLs to this spoke. Next is the visibility content application, got updated to version 6.12.0. New in this one, a configuration to easily enable or disable collecting ARP info in the Discovery configuration console. And like the other Discovery one, I am not going to try to read through all the fixes, but you can see there MS SQL, Google Cloud Provider, I think that's what GCP is, Tuxedo, Oracle DB, ESX or VMware, Windows Server 2022, an IRE fix, WebLogic, Linux Server, Network Router Patterns, Oracle DB, and Azure Website LP Patterns. So tons and tons of updates on the visibility content application. So like the discovery patterns and mapping, you might want to check out this update as well. Next up, VMware ARIA automation plugin from VMware Inc. upgraded to version 8.12.0. And in this version, the vRealize Automation ITSM application is now known as what I just read, the VMware ARIA automation plugin. Added support for custom day 2 actions for deployments, introduced price estimate for day 0 catalog items, enabled the use of icons for day 0 catalog items, and addressed minor bugs and implemented fixes. Last on our list of highlights, vulnerability report licensing and usage got updated to version 2.2.3 and introduced new metering for the cloud resources. For more information, check out that KB article under support.servicenow.com. And that is the last of the highlights. Let's go back and do a recap of what we just talked about. 119 applications in this week's episode. There were 7 new releases, 31 highlights, 8 compatibility updates, 12 minor updates, 54 fixes, and 7 release notes fails. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in what got updated on the ServiceNow Store. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.